coming. I know, huh? We have some big ones, and then all of a sudden we'll have ones with like 5 people. It's great. It's okay with me.
That's okay.
Did you get the?
Make it happen.
People choose to do the stuff that they feel is valuable for them, and that's good. I'm fine with that. And I take the hint. If we have a couple more meetings like this, there's only like 10 people or 6 people or something like that, then what that means is we need to have food, right?
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny what food does. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I hear food?
So, we've collected $75 so far for the Keller Williams Charity Fund.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that, so please do not turn your cell phones off. I've instructed Jill to call each of you during the meeting.
Good. Mine ring on my desk.
Good, nice. Carrie, come on up.
Yeah.
Carrie Barnes, it's not a coincidence that you have the same last name as Polly, right?
Yeah, she's my mother-in-law, so I don't know
Yeah.
if you've all met Polly, but she's my mother-in-law, and so she's teaching me a lot. I'm new to this industry. Again, I'm Carrie, and before this I was in medical device management, so this is a huge change for me, but I'm really excited. And I
What does that mean, medical device management?
So I had a team that sold medical devices underneath me, 7 reps, and I managed that in Northern California.
Cool.
So I'm excited for the change. I did that for about 15 years, so I'm ready to kind of put this on and see how it fits. I won't take too much of your time. I know you have a big meeting here, learning a lot, I'm sure, about gold, right?
We're going to talk gold today.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you about a new loan that we have available. It is specific to Prospect. I don't believe that anyone else has it. It's a 15-15. Essentially, it's a 30-year amortization, and at 15 years it adjusts. So it adjusts only one time. And the start rate is 3.625. So, really, really good loan. I'm going to pass that out. If you have any questions, my email and my phone number is on the back, so you can call me. And then finally, have you guys heard about the change that's being made to desktop underwriter with Fannie Mae? So for short sales, previously, if you had 20% down, you could get a loan. If you had 20% down after 2 years following the short sale, they're changing it to 4 years.
4 or 5?
4.
Okay. Some are changing it to 5 even. We've had some, or at least some seconds have changed it to 5.
Okay. I've only heard about 4, but I'll
Okay.
definitely.
So but that's Fannie's changing it to 4?
Fannie, yep.
Okay.
So I'll pass this around. This is a great little, cheat sheet. Tells you all about foreclosures and short sales and the parameters around that. So, again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to meeting you. Like I said, I'm new, so any way I can help and learn what's important to your business, I would love the opportunity, open houses, anything. So, thank you.
Cool. Awesome, Polly. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Do you mind if I stay in lunch, or do you want-
Yes, starting to stay.
Yes, absolutely. We want you to.
Okay, great, great.
Successes from last week to this week. Who's got something that they want to share? No successes. Wow, must have been a tough week. I know you do because I saw your Facebook page and you're all tan.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's not say, did I say business successes?
Yeah.
I mean, you had a nice trip, right?
Yeah, put over 500 miles on my bike, came home safely. That's always a good trip.
Nice, that's awesome. No bugs in your teeth?
No bugs in my teeth.
Good. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Ed?
I have a listing on Inverness, which is, I don't have a lot of details, but it's about, I think it's just under 2,000 square feet, about 535, really popular price.
Awesome.
Single story or? I don't know.
2-story, and they're prepping it, doing the carpets and getting it all ready, so maybe in about a week it'll go on the market.
Way to go.
Yep.
Very
And
cool.
then I listed a 2.5 acre property on West Railroad with a big 4,000 square foot house. It's got a big, huge chicken barn that's been kind of remodeled. It could be used for horse property, and it sits way on top of a hill looking out on all over Petaluma. It's really pretty with 945.
Nice.
That'll be ready in a couple weeks.
Very
It's
cool.
already listed.
How many acres was that again?
2.5.
Oh, 2.5.
That's the one we looked at?
Next door to it.
Very cool. Yeah, let's keep going with that then. Who's got listings that are coming that are not currently on the market?
I got 3 listing appointments. I don't know if they're gonna go on the market yet or not, but I'm feeling pretty good about them, so.
Well, that's a success. That's fantastic. So did you get those, like, did you make calls while you were riding?
No. I made some calls while I was last week,
Nice.
and then I got 2 referrals, and then I got an old baseball friend of mine that called me out of the blue and said, hey, come talk to me about my house.
Awesome, very cool. Very cool.
I just want to mention Samuel. It's off the MLS, but it's still active with me as a pocket listing. So it's
Okay.
999, still just under $1 million, and beautiful house. Should be sold by now, but it's not. So if somebody has anybody, have them, just call me, because I can get you right in. They still want to sell it.
Okay, it's not on MLS right now?
It's not on MLS.
What's the co-op? What's the commission on it?
It's 2.5.
Okay.
Did you put it on TAN? You gonna put it on TAN?
On what?
Top Agent Network?
I will. I have it now.
You should do that.
Yeah, okay.
What's top?
Yeah, I don't know about that, so
Yeah, what's that?
you can share it.
Not many agents on
Why don't you
there.
share that, because I don't know.
Yeah, apparently there's no point in doing it because
Right.
nobody else knows about it.
Yeah.
No, so Top Agent Network, you have to qualify, you have to do a certain amount of business, but then it's a great way to communicate with the other top agents. I have this off-market listing coming up.
You're right, I know what it is, because somebody sent me one and
Yeah.
said, you're in the top such and
Yeah.
such, which I didn't know I was,
Yeah.
but anyway, they sent me something saying something
Yeah,
like that.
I
So is
use
that
it all the
worth
time.
it?
It's good.
Is it?
I like it, yeah.
Okay.
Because you get
Is
to
there
find
a
out about
cost?
stuff before it comes on.
Is there
I-
a cost involved?
Yeah, I think it's $50 a month or something. It's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, I did do right before I took it off the MLS, I sent it out on an email blast again, but I'll do another email blast on it, flyer.
What it does is you'll go out on a blast, but then there's also a way to pull up what's off the market.
Oh, nice.
So if an agent goes, hey, I got somebody that's looking, they can go on there and see what's off market, either not coming on or not on yet or whatever. So it's a way
That's
to
cool.
kind of.
Does it have
Okay.
search functionality like by area and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff?
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
That's
Thank
cool.
you. I'll get that on there then.
awesome.
I just put on this morning, I don't remember the address, but it's on Jade, which is the KB Homes, those awesome.
Oh, there's your
money.
money.
Late and $25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill's getting,
Jill's gonna collect from you. We're doing that. We've collected $75 so
$25
far.
every time.
Now 100.
Now we got 100. Thank you, Charles, for your donation to Keller
At
Williams.
least I could do it.
Yeah.
so,
Since I, of course, don't have $25, it's going to.
Oh, she'll remember.
I think it's 514 Jade. Anyway, it's those new condos, the KB Homes ones, and it's way overdone inside. These people thought that they were moving here to live with to live near their grandchild and their daughter. Completely decked out the house the way they wanted it for their Midwestern lifestyle, and country club, blah blah blah, and then they decided they don't like it here at all. So
Really? Wow.
they've been here for the house is 6 months old,
Oh my
and
God.
it has just got every possible imaginable
How much are you
upgrade.
How much?
It's listed at $549. It's 2,200 square feet. The model home's just in there, so $583. So we're 35 grand under, and this has got more upgrades than the model
Yeah,
home.
they're taking it
I'm
back.
sorry, where was that again?
Jade,
Oh, in Roanoke Park?
Petaluma, right?
Next to the highway.
KB Homes. It's the new.
Oh, okay, oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's 3 stories, and it's amazing
Yeah.
for that, for that person. 2-car garage, blah blah blah.
And what was the price?
$549.
Thank you.
Nice. Who else has stuff coming?
Have a garage?
Has a 2-car garage.
Yes.
The property I've talked about, that was sort of an in-house listed property, is going to the market next week. It's on Old Redwood Highway. It's got an old farmhouse that needs work. It's got a really cool outbuilding that can be used for a shop and antique. It's got frontage, pretty decent frontage on Old Redwood Highway for getting, if you're running some small business out of it or something, and plus a little non-conforming second unit that's bringing in income as well. And,
Mhm.
$559 is the price, a little less than an acre, public water, public sewer.
Awesome. Cool. Terry?
I have something good to say, but it has nothing to do with that, sorry. 'cause
Say it. I like good stuff.
I forgot to mention, everybody, I was nominated as the top 3 Sonoma County Realtors. So it's me,
Oh, yeah, we
Right.
blew out some emails on that.
right,
too. Yeah.
Jeremy and Peg King, and then also Rob Sullivan. So right now
Rob
the voting.
Sullivan.
Who's Rob
I think it said
Sullivan?
is it Rob Sullivan?
Yeah, no, he's an agent.
Yeah,
I'm just-
it's Rob
Never heard
Sullivan.
of him.
And so, yeah, and so bottom line
His
is,
mom nominated him.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know who nominated me either, but the bottom line is, I think it's July 14th is the last day to vote for me. So it'd be fun to have Keller Williams,
Heck yeah.
right? So,
Vote for Terry.
I
Barton wins, vote for
voted
Terry.
for you.
Right, what is it, People's Choice, or, what is it, what are you talking about?
yeah, it's, and then I get some free advertising and all that.
No, but
who
we don't know
votes?
where it is, like, where do you vote?
I think you go on to
PD?
Press Democrat.
So it's a PD?
It's PD.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
we'll make it
I
happen.
wanted to mention that again.
Vote for Terry.
Thank you.
Yes, we're gonna get you a button.
Can you vote twice?
No, one time.
Vote early and often.
One time per email, so you
Yeah,
vote.
I got a bunch of email addresses.
There you go.
So,
Thank you.
well, and, yeah, and plus, we don't want Peg and Jeremy to win either.
Exactly.
We definitely want.
That's the
Now, see, this is being videotaped, so.
Can you edit that?
Yeah, we'll edit it.
Yeah.
We're gonna edit out all references.
Actually, I already,
Edit it and send it to Jeremy.
To that,
Yeah.
on voting form, and then you talking about them.
yeah.
That'll work.
Um,
I know you have something coming, because every time I say it, you wait to see what everybody else says, and I think you have something coming, right?
Well,
Were you gonna say
I
something
haven't
else?
signed anything. I went on a listing presentation last week, and he's interviewing 3 other agents, and
Mhm.
he'll get back to me. And we had a really good interview.
Awesome.
And I just got a call yesterday, somebody wants me to, this afternoon, do a presentation to them. They are interested in the house across the street, which I will be coming on the market, this on Pheasant. That'll be coming on the market on probably Saturday. I know they're 3/4 of the way moved out, so 1424 Pheasant will come on the market this week. I'm 99% sure, for $480. And this other house, you know, he's interested in that house, but I'm because it's a short sale on Pheasant, I'm kind of obligated to be on the market 7 days.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna put it on the market 7 days, and then take offers as they come. And then this guy's house, if he can buy Pheasant, then he'll list his house. We'll go from there. Beyond that, East Street is waiting for the lawyer to reorganize the trust or something. It'll be nice when we get there, but we're close on that one.
Cool. Anybody else have anything they want to share moving forward?
I did get an offer on Dudley last night.
Oh, yeah? Good. Excellent. Is it gonna go?
Yeah, she'll sign that today.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Way to go. All right. Here's what's going on this week. That's yesterday. So, did you guys do the power hour this morning? Oh, man, I told everybody in the West to come down here. I don't think anybody was here.
There's nobody here.
Okay. Our sales meeting, we're gonna do Bold download today. Tomorrow, of course, everybody's going to Bold. What step are you guys on now?
5.
Step 5. Cool. So 2 more steps to go, man. So this is step 5 coming tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. And then this is really cool. The McCall team has started a mastermind in the East on Thursdays. It says 8:10, but it's really 8. They get started about 8:03. There's food there and everything. And what they're doing is they're going on Agent Mountain and getting and going over video, these really quick 3-minute video class series. The last one they did was buyer presentation. And it's really interesting because the one that they were doing was recorded, it looks like it was probably 2006, 2007, something like that. And it was about, you know, the buyer presentation ending with the buyer broker agreement and stuff. And since they've done this was probably 3 weeks worth of the mastermind from 8 to 9, going over because it was in a 3 or 4 module deal. And it's like everybody's getting them. And the last one that I was at, they're talking about, it's not even like, you don't even have to ask for it. It's just like, you know, so here's, you know, so for all these services, you pay me nothing. And you don't have to buy a house, but this agreement just says that if you do buy a house in the next 12 months, you agree to buy it through me. Does that make sense? Sure, it makes sense. Okay, here we go. Let's get started, right? And they just sign it. It's like, it's not a big deal, and it's so much nicer. And you actually work so much, you're willing to even work harder for your buyers if you know they're committed to you, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not super buyer focused, but I thought that was very, very,
That was, you sent out that email of that too, right? Or the
Yep.
video of that?
Yep.
Same thing?
yeah, you definitely want to see that. It's very, it's a.
Very short.
It's real short, yeah.
It
It's
is
quick-
short,
quick
but
and
if
easy to
you
watch.
read, the thing is, if you read the contract, I mean, you really have to read the contract and know the contract, because the
Sure you
buyers
do,
will
yeah.
read the contract and look at it and say, but it says on here, I have to pay you.
Right, exactly, and
So
then,
you
and then
have
on the
to
very
know how
next
to
page,
respond,
right,
right.
on the very next page, in the very next paragraph, it says that any amount paid by the seller will offset whatever the buyer has agreed to pay.
Exactly.
And you can actually have that conversation with them and even put in the other terms that you're willing to adjust it
Right.
by an amount or whatever, so
Exactly.
that they're not actually paying anything.
Right, that way they're not freaked out about it, because that's
Well,
what.
it's the
Key
same
is
thing
what?
on listing.
What's the key to it though? What's the key to the whole thing?
Getting a commitment from them.
They sign something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Have you signed anything with another agent? Actually, yeah, I just signed something with Terry Keynes. She's my agent, I think is what it says. Oh, okay, great, she's fantastic, you should give her a call. And tell her you want to see this house instead of me, right? I think it's worth doing. ALC meeting coming up on the 10th in the West office. Everyone should attend those. Those are great. We've had, as you guys probably know, last month, May, the month before last, May, was a record month for the company ever, right? The company did more company dollar, more gross commission income, more profit and more profit share than ever in its history. And that was the record until June. We beat it in June.
Is that 'cause the new team leader? that-
96, no, it's you guys that are doing it. 96 listings in June. I'm sorry, no, 96 closed escrows, 96 closings in June.
You mean May?
No, June. June beat May. 96 closings, $4,000 that month. 50,000 in owner profit and like 58 something or whatever profit share. So those of you that got big profit share checks last month, assuming that the same people did deals that are in your downline this month, I know for a fact that there's some fat profit share going out on the 21st of this month, like thousands of dollars getting deposited in people's accounts, in individuals' accounts at the end of this month. So it's very cool, and not coincidentally, because of these last 2 months, the referral sheets I'm getting for, hey, call this guy, he's expecting your call, they're stacked now. I mean, I'm calling them as they come in, but we're getting a lot of them, which is fantastic, which is really cool, because what it allows us to do too, when I started in Yuba City, there was no profit, there was a loss. There was no profit share because there was no profit to share. There were only 10 agents in the office. So my only choice to grow that office was to go out and cold call and hammer other agents and try to get meetings with them and then go on meetings and stuff. So I wasn't able to spend a lot of time in the office coaching and training, building classes, making sure that that stuff is taken care of. This is allowing me to do that here. And the funny thing about it is, when you do that, when you can provide that kind of value, like you guys that are going to Boulder are seeing, and the people that are in coaching with me are seeing, and the people that go to the education classes are seeing, it perpetuates itself, right? It causes more referrals. Agents who are getting value are happy, and they're happy to refer, right? So that's what I want to keep that going here. I'm really excited about it. I don't know. Dennis is saying July is looking good. But we never really know until about the 12th to the 15th. That's when we start to try to predict what we're going to do. But it's looking good for July. So you guys are the ones that are doing it, and you guys are the ones that are going to benefit from it in profit share. So if you come to the ALC meeting, you'll see a lot of that discussed. You're going to see us go over the P&Ls. You're going to see us make some decisions on. Actually, one of the decisions that needs to get made at this at this ALC meeting is going to be whether or not we're going to join the San Francisco MLS, because there's one or two people that want it, as far as we know as management so far. There may be more, and it's really an ALC decision to decide whether yes we want this or no we don't want this, and if we do, then it goes. Then if the ALC says we want it, it goes on Eileen's desk. Okay?
So let me understand what you're
Yes.
saying about San Francisco, because we can get all their listings.
That's correct, and
So
we can
what
list in
what would
as an
benefit
MLS.
us to be a member?
The only direct benefit of actually adding that to our stable of boards that we're a member of is that as members of the MLS, as members of this brokerage, the agents would then be able to get the WolfNet code that actually has can have you auto search off of your website, like kathyhugo.com. You could go there and search the San Francisco MLS from your website, right? We can't do that as reciprocal members. We don't have the code for that. They don't give it to reciprocal members. Right? So
What about, wouldn't we get the forms too? They have different purchase contracts there.
Yeah, then we'd also have the forms. You'd end up with that form library, I believe, in WinForms. Not exactly sure how that works, but.
Does that?
Well, come to the meeting and this stuff will all be discussed.
Yeah,
if you
that's
want.
what just.
You know it.
Meeting, right?
Yes, yeah, check it out at the meeting. All right, so the tip today I thought was, I must have handed it to somebody. It might be a mistake here, but basically I remember it. So here's the practice tip from Bill Jensen, and I thought it was appropriate based on the broker calls that I've been dealing with on deals, and that is that be specific. Be specific. When there are ambiguities in contracts, when contracts are open to different interpretations, it causes issues, and usually those issues pop at the 11th hour, and then, and truly, if it's truly ambiguous, no one really has to do anything except what was initially done. I'll give you guys an example. You're writing an offer for your client, and you say, close of escrow to be 30 days from the date of acceptance. The seller shall have the right to rent back for up to 30 days from the date escrow closes. That's fantastic, right? Great for the seller. A lot of you guys write offers that way because it's, you're in a multiple offer situation and you're trying to be as accommodating as possible to get your offer accepted. So what's missing from that offer?
Price.
Well,
The
you're right, but.
rent back.
Rent back.
Rent back agreement?
Agreement.
Right, so how would you, what do you need to put in the offer?
Buyer shall agree to ratify the RLAS form.
Prior to close of escrow, or
Right.
by.
Within so many days.
Within so many days from
Usually
acceptance.
10 days
or whatever.
is
Right.
standard practice.
Right, and then in the rent back agreement, you'll have specific dates, not 30 days from whenever the escrow happens to close.
Right.
And the other thing is, close of escrow shall be 30 days from acceptance. After you have acceptance, what do you need to do?
An addendum to define that date.
Yeah, you should write an addendum to define that date. If you don't do that, you should at least send out a timeline on the contract.
So we're on the same.
Right? Anyone who has any questions about this or has any issues with this timeline, please reply to all, right?
And are you referencing the discrepancies that happen between the signed offer and the confirmation accepted for you?
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that happens. What I just took a call the other day where there's a giant wrestling match at the end of this deal over possession because everybody's counting the dates differently. There really is only one right way to count the dates, but everybody's counting the dates differently, and no one ever did anything about what Steve said. Buyer and seller shall execute a separate occupancy agreement prior to escrow, close of escrow. Nobody did that, and there was never any specific date, so everyone's counting dates. And the buyers have trucks with their stuff on it based on their date count, and the seller's like, no, you're not getting the keys based on my date count, and they're both wrong, actually. So it's just better, the deal's gonna close, right, but it's just better to work through that stuff ahead of time. Here's another example. Seller shall have the right to rent back for 15 days after close of escrow at buyer's PITI.
Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, you have to write it out.
What's that?
You have to write it out.
Well, yeah, but you have to define.
Even if you don't.
But you still have to define what it is.
That wasn't the point.
Prorated on a 30-day month.
Prorated on a 30-day month, okay. So then the seller assumes that the PITI is based on the loan that they contemplated on page 1 of the contract. But then the buyer decides they're gonna do a different loan. And they're gonna go from a 30-year amortization to a 10-year amortization. And so what does that do to the PITI?
Shoot this through the roof.
And they're
Changes it, right?
20% down instead of 30% down.
Yeah, or whatever, right? So, if you're gonna put that in, I think it's better to do, here's how much it is a day. And you can do it, you can calculate it that way, use the banker's month and take what their PITI is, because then when the buyer changes their loan, they're not gonna go back to you and go, yeah, I want my PITI, they're gonna go, well, this is the amount that, we said we wanted, so you decided to change your loan, that's kind of to you, but this is what the seller agreed to pay. Be specific. The more specific you guys can be in your contracts, the better your deals are gonna work.
Specific.
4. Anybody have any questions about that?
Well, I look at
Rock
PITI as the formula used to put in your per day.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
the answer.
right. It's not the answer, and it is the formula used to put in your day, but in the scenario I just talked about,
Actually, you put any date number you want.
you can just put a, and pick a number, whatever. You might want to use something accurate, but pick a number,
Yeah.
right? But it's better to use an amount than it is to say buyer's PITI, right? And I've even seen contracts on my desk that say, buyers, sellers shall have the right to rent back at PITI. And really? Who's PITI? The sellers or the buyers? No, really. Because the seller has PITI unless they own it free and clear,
Yeah.
and then they have TI. So, yeah, you need to specify who's PITI, and really just do an amount. Figure it out using the PITI, but do an amount. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything to add to that? Anything that they've seen that kind of dovetails with that really should be addressed? Okay. This is an entrepreneur website. I love this guy. You guys probably know that. Oh, wait, before we do this, I have a huge announcement, and this actually is going to be, this could change your business. And I really, really want you guys to consider this. On July 19th, Super Huey is playing at Silos in Napa.
And how can that change our business?
Inspired. You won't get any leads while you're there.
It's not necessarily true.
No, that is,
Exactly.
actually, I got a lead when I was there, for somebody that I'm trying to recruit. She came to the show, and she's an agent with Sotheby's.
Welcome to another segment of The Entrepreneurial Educator. We're here in San Rafael, California, at the studios of Huey Lewis and the News. We are really excited to have Huey Lewis with us today. Welcome, Huey.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, Huey, when the words Huey Lewis and the News roll off my tongue, first and foremost, I think of cats like your bandmates, Bill Gibson, our friend, the drummer, Sean Hopper, Johnny Cola.
All local boys.
Yep. I think of the news that you guys have created over the course of 3.5 decades of stardom and celebrity and making good music. And
Not necessarily in that order.
no, definitely not in that order. I also think of some of the things that are a little more understated, a little bit more underpublicized related to you and some of the endeavors that you've been involved in. You are a philanthropist, you are a sportsman, you are a Hollywood actor, you are a Broadway actor, a whole host of things. And underneath it all, you're entrepreneurial. And frankly, one of the things that we're trying to get across to our lifelong learners is this concept of entrepreneurialism and some of the things. Tell us a little bit about that, about what makes you tick, and some of the cool things that you're working on currently.
You know, it's interesting because I don't think of myself as an entrepreneur ever, even though, I suppose I am in terms of the definition. But it was never about being an entrepreneur for me. It's a foreign concept. I only knew what the word meant, recently, or not that recently, but you know what I mean. So for me, it was always, and my advice is always the same to everybody, which is find something that you just love to do. And if you love to do it, you'll do it a lot. And if you do it a lot, you'll be really good at it. And if you're good at it, you will be successful. And I don't care what it is. If it's hang gliding, you might not be the best hang glider in the world, but there's a million ways to be involved in hang gliding. And success, after all, is not just economic success, but being happy at what you're doing. So really that's the key. And that's what I did. I decided I went to prep school in New Jersey, and I went to college at Cornell for 5 minutes over a 2-year period, but I had already discovered the harmonica, and I decided I wanted to be a harmonica player.
So the piece of this that I wanted to share with you guys, and I wanted you guys to see, what do you think that was? What did he say there that applies to what we do?
Keep doing it.
Love what you do.
Love what you do.
Love what
Be
you do.
passionate.
Yep.
Yeah, find something you love to do.
Right.
If you love to do it, you'll do it a lot.
Yeah.
If you do it a lot, you'll be really good at it. Does everybody in here always love what they do in real estate?
No.
always, every day, no matter what you do, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Whatever. No,
Come
I'm sorry.
on.
I'm not gonna show your clients this video.
Be real.
You can-
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
So I think sometimes, this is what I wanted to discuss with you guys today is, you can't, most of us, not all of us, most of us can't always love every minute of what we do. Even if, you know what, he doesn't always love getting up on stage and playing harmonica. I know he doesn't, because I know that,
Some
for
days
sure.
you don't feel it.
Yeah, some days you're not feeling it, some days you don't want to go on, some days you can't go on, but you have to, right? So you don't always love what you do. Some days you don't want to pick up the phone and dial for dollars. Some days you don't want to go out and show property. Some days you don't want to answer the phone, right? So how do you stay in touch with what you love about what you do?
Goals.
Yeah, I think so.
Big why.
Yeah,
Yeah. that's a good
which
one.
goals come from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you, I think that really is it. And I think most of us, including me, I think when we struggle, I think maybe our why is not big enough. You guys ever heard Rick Jihad talk about the big why? Yeah, what he told me was, if your why dies with you, it's not big enough. You know what I mean? Your big why should be bigger than you, should outlive you, should outlast you. What are some examples of a big why that could outlive, that's going to result in huge goals, like you just talked about, that would outlive you?
End world starvation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something that, like, Bill and Melinda Gates give away how much money? Billions.
More
Yeah.
than we do.
Yeah, they give away more than I'll ever make.
Right.
Okay, so, yeah, end world starvation, that could be great. What's another example of a big why that outlives you? I mean, your kids are gonna outlive you probably, right? But is it good, like, I have personal experience with this. My grandmother on my mother's side of the family passed away a few years ago, and they had amassed serious wealth. And I don't know that when they were building this wealth and that they actually were super focused on, okay, here's what it's gonna do for our kids. But I watched my mom and dad, who were already doing okay and, upper middle class, had a nice house in Sierra Oaks in Sacramento. And when this wealth got distributed from the trust to my parents and my aunt in Israel, who was the other sister, what it changed, like how it allowed my parents to take me and Tina and my brother and my sister-in-law on a 10-day or a 15-day trip to Italy to spend time with us, because we live far apart and we couldn't all do it, and if we could, we couldn't all do it together. And they just made it happen. These kind of things that if they saw that would bring them to tears. That they were allowed that allowed to do that. It allowed them to put a cabin on North Shore Tahoe in trust with a poison pill so no one can sell it, right? If it ever gets sold, any excess money would have to be distributed to a charity. So the family will never sell that. We wouldn't anyway. But and what they knew about that cabin was everyone gathers there. If you have to book a place and get a whole bunch of families together, that doesn't happen. But if we all just go up there on Christmas and we all just go up there, on 4th of July or whatever, it's these things, they wanted to keep the family together, right? That's a big why.
It's very smart too, because if you
They were really smart.
If you just leave your kids money, you can ruin them.
Oh, yeah.
I know a guy, and he inherited a fortune, and he's done absolutely nothing with his life.
Ask any
And he
estate
could have
attorney.
been a great guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ask any estate attorney what happens to families when there's a giant, trusts that need to be distributed and it's about cash. I think it's pretty cool. Think about your big why. Stay in touch with your big why, and put it places. Grow your big why, and put it places in your life where you're reminded about it all the time. And I think it'll help you to stay in touch, to stay in touch with what you love about the business so that you'll do it a lot, and if you do it a lot, you'll be really good at it, right? I mean, and then break your big why down to the ridiculous, like Jimmy Rex does. Jimmy Rex's big why gets broken down eventually into activities and then eventually into the dollars that he makes for those activities, right? $57 every time I pick up the phone, whether they answer or not, right? Nice to know that stuff. I just wanted to go over that really quick. I want to talk a little bit now. Does anybody have anything to add to that? I wanted to talk a little bit now about Bold and what's going on with some of the agents in Bold. And I wish Shad was here. Shad's had a major breakthrough in Bold, and Shad wasn't. He was no slouch when he came here from Coldwell Banker. He was doing a little over $5 million a year. And my challenge with Shad, just from, I give you a little bit of like inside, like what I go through as a team leader. My challenge with, and whenever anyone comes to this company and doesn't plug in to what we do, I feel like they're at risk. And I don't feel good about it, and especially down here or in the East, because I'm only here one day a week, and I'm only in the East one day a week, and the rest of the time I'm in Santa Rosa, and it'll be that way until we grow this to become its own market center. And so I felt disconnected, and I feel like he went to work with Timo as Timo's buyer's agent, and then they decided to part ways. They're still friends, everything's fine, but because of that, he was plugged in with Renee and Timo, and not me, and I was like reaching for him when I realized that wasn't going to work out. So I got him to go to Bold with these guys, and he didn't want to, and he was Sean. I was trying to get Sean Lowe to go. He's going to go next time, and some other people I think talked to him about Bold too. So he went, and I got a text from him. It has to be about a week ago now, and he's like, when's the next Keller Williams class like this that I can go to? I'm like, Mega Camp, and he signed up that day. So here's the truth about people, about businesses, your businesses, and you guys as business owners in our company. If you don't plug into what we do here, we're really just a shop like any other shop where you're going to be, that you're going to be at, right? If you will plug into what we do, we're so much more than that. And the truth is, all real estate agents, all real estate companies cost about the same. Okay? They really do. I mean, if you're just looking at it from a cost perspective, and if you do some business, you can negotiate that cost with most real estate companies, right? The only value in most real estate companies is, hey, is it going to be about the same or less as where I was before? And if it is, I'll come because I like you, and I think you'd be a good manager or whatever. But if you can bring that kind of value to somebody's business, if a company can bring the kind of value where you even just do 1 or 2 or 3 more deals a year, then it's a no-brainer. Doesn't really matter at a $400,000 average sale price. Who cares if you're doing 2 or 3 more deals a year specifically because you're at a certain company and what you're getting from that company? Then you would never leave, right? So that's what we're trying to grow here. So I don't want you. I know I hammer you guys about, hey, go to Bold. I know we you're like, no, not go to Bold. I'm like, yeah, go to Bold. And then we get to first step. You're like, I'm not going to sign up. I'm like, you're not going to sign up, really? But so I don't want you guys to feel like I'm hammering you for the wrong reasons. The reason I really push this stuff, I promise you this, and I'll just leave it at this. I promise you this, I will never ask you guys or try to get you guys to go to something that I don't think would be valuable and translate to your bottom line in your business. Because that's the way I always was in business. I never wanted to go to like a legislative affairs update because I didn't think it translated to my bottom line. And I'm the same way. I would treat you guys with the same kind of respect. So apologize for this, but go to Mega Camp, go to Family Reunion, go to Bold. We're gonna have Bold out here in the spring of 2015. It'll be in the wine country. So I'm really excited about that. And we're gonna try to get some of our South Bay and East Bay partners and maybe some people from up north and stuff to come down and go to that. We need 150 people at First Step to Bold in the spring of next year for them to go in and have the class. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think we'll meet that. Rick, come on up. Charles, you're in Bold, yes? Come on up. Who else is in Bold? That's it today. The other ones are exhausted. Rick's gonna talk about some bold ones.
Well, okay. So just to dovetail on what, Roy.
Come on up, Charles. All the way.
What Roy was talking about, this bold deal is, it is a game changer. I told you guys that already. And I don't think it matters where you're at in your business. I don't think it matters whether you're brand new or you're killing it. I still think it's a game changer. And because one of the things they talk about was, I'm probably not gonna say it the right way, but every stream, when you stand in a stream, the stream's always gonna be different. The current that you're in, how you're gonna react to that stream, it's always gonna be different. And so for me, going for the second time, everything's different, but I still need it and want it just as much. I still fight it. What he was like, I saw the whole bold sign up thing for I don't know how long. I didn't give it a second thought at all. Nah, I don't need that, I'm good. And then I saw it coincidentally, like a day before it was supposed to, I said, hey Jill, what is that bold thing? When is that starting? She goes, it's tomorrow. Oh, I'll go, I'm in. And I thought, just go to the one. And
First step, yeah.
First step, because I got a game changer for me out of that very first free meeting. The first time I went, so you're thinking about moving online, which I used somewhere else. But anyway, I went. It's good. It gets me excited, and it gets me purposeful about my business, and it changed my mindset so that I'm focused on the right things. And a lot of that stuff that they have in bold are these bold laws. And you went before, right, Terry?
I didn't go.
You've never been?
No, I went to the first.
But you're going in spring, right?
Not necessarily.
Wow.
I'm honest, so.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It would be great to see you there because I know for
I
sure
know,
that you're
thank you.
going. I guarantee you're going. Anyway, so they have these bold laws. Diana went the last time. And there you go. Ed and you were going to go together. That's fantastic. And John's going, right,
I'm
John?
going, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good.
And the commute, it'll be close.
Yeah, you guys. It took me 3 hours to get home from Bold.
And 2 to get there. That's 5 hours.
That's 5 hours of driving to go to an 8-hour class.
That's crazy.
And you're going to All right. So anyway, one of the things they have are these things called bold laws, which I'm sure that they did not come up. I know for a fact there's some of these I've heard them other places, right? But they're these great little sayings that I think are really helpful to me. And so I just wanted to highlight a couple of them. Don't listen to your drunk monkey.
Okay.
Does everybody know what a drunk monkey is?
In your head?
Yeah, right? We all have a drunk monkey, I think, except for Steve probably doesn't have one because he
loves life.
loves life and everything goes right for him all the time. But other than Steve, the drunk monkey, right? It's the little monkey on your head. So, you don't need to call those guys. They probably don't want to hear from you anyway, Or you don't need to make those calls, or you should, whatever. All of the stuff that in a sane moment is really not accurate, but we listen, right? And it was almost like being told not to listen almost gives me permission to say to the drunk monkey, hey, you know what? Forget about it. I'm not listening to you. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do things differently because I want different things to happen to me, right? Which is actually another law
Bold
here.
law, yeah.
Forget about it.
It's something like
If you want to get something you've never gotten.
Yeah, well, the problem is it's not a whole bunch, I have it written down in this very weird way, so I can't, but it's the definition of insanity, right? It's the whole, anyway, so
Yeah,
I can't find it on here.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Exactly.
But the positive way to say that is if you want something you've never gotten, then you must do something you've never done.
Yeah, and exactly, thank you very much. Change the way you look at things, and the way the things you look at will change. The other big deal for me, because I'm really poor at time management, I shouldn't say that. What am I?
Up until now.
You used to be really poor at time management.
No, I'm not even say that.
I'm getting better at time.
I'm making great changes so that I manage my time better, right? So, but one of those things, and I think about this all the time from 4 years ago, was all work expands to the time allowed, right? And so that means if I have to write 2 listing agreements this morning and make 10 phone calls and blah, 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 if I have this list of things, if I only have an hour to do it, I'll get it done in an hour. If I have 4 hours to do it, I will also take 4 hours
That's
to do the
true.
same amount of work.
That's right out of the 4-hour work week, and you guys should all read that book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
4-hour
is
work
true,
week.
you're right.
Yeah.
That is-
And it's an interesting phenomenon that happens, and I choose to remember
You're right.
that that is something that applies to me, so that I have more, because this whole thing is not about killing it and making millions of dollars. It's about a life that's worth living, right? It's about funding that, but part of that is not working 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
And so, so I thought that's definitely, anyway, if you want a copy of these bold laws, I have it, I'm happy to give it to you. And it's gonna be great, you guys should come in spring because Terry will be there for sure. That's right. Is there anything else on that?
I just wanna see if Charles got any big major ahas from last week's poll.
Yeah,
Come over here, Charles, because
Yeah, we want you on video, man.
well, we all make mistakes. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't have thought it was possible to make 100 contacts a week. And this week, I'm probably not gonna make it. I've been sick all week. I've been sick as a dog. I'm lucky I'm here, in fact.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, now I know that I can make that many contacts in a week.
You did it last week, right?
They suck, you know, a lot of them, but that doesn't matter. You know, what matters is that I'm actually
Taking the action.
make the contacts, and the next one I make is gonna be better than the last one I make.
Yeah.
I mean, I learn a lot every time I talk, every time somebody answers the phone, it goes better than it went the last time. So if I keep doing it, eventually.
I mean, when you keep doing it.
But, yeah, as I keep doing it.
There you go.
It's going to bring more and more response that I want to get, and it's gonna turn the business into what I want the business to be. And I don't have any doubt about that, you know?
That's good.
I can't always be perfect at it, but I don't have time to worry about that part. If I screw up, I just have to do better next time. It's an incredible experience.
Awesome.
Except
It
for-
really
except-
is.
Except for the drive.
It's really just a numbers game.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is, like you said, they suck or whatever, but as I get better and better at it, so it's like internet lead generation. Some of you guys have heard me say this before. Those of you who generate hundreds of leads a month on the internet, you know that your conversion rate's about 4%, right? And it's still good because 4% of 100 is 4 deals, right? But you could say, well, 96% of them are crap, but that isn't the truth. The truth is, with Bold, right now these guys are doing 10 times the work that all their competition is doing, as far as lead generation goes. They have to, right? And they're at whatever skill level they're currently at as far as converting those leads, as far as asking for the business. But they are asking for the business. If you'll continue to make the contacts, as you get better and better at asking for the business, you'll get more deals per every so many people you talk to. You just
can
will.
make a game out of it. I mean, that's what when I do it. I make a game out of it with myself sometimes. I'll be like, okay, today I'm gonna make this many phone calls, I'm gonna see how many yeses I can get, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do the same thing and try to get more, and I'm gonna keep calling until I get one more than I did the day before.
Yeah.
And that's when I do it, like I said, that's what I do. And it's kind of fun because then you're kind of going, okay, I have to get that yes, or I'm not getting off the phone, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So
But the mentality is for every no is one step closer to a yes.
Exactly. You just, keep going for it and don't worry about it. It's not
Yeah.
personal.
There's a
It's never
fantastic
personal.
read on that too, what he just said. There's a book called Go for No. I've mentioned it a couple of times. You guys should get that book. It's like $7 on Amazon. And it's about actually changing your mindset so that you're actually going for the no. Like you want the no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't count the yeses, count the nos. Right? And if you go back and watch a couple of those Jimmy Rex videos, because what happens is when you start to realize, when you start to do what these guys are doing and you start to apply the scripts and get better and better at them, what happens is you start being, do you guys feel like when you pick up the phone that you're still all worried about the result? Or you're just doing the activity?
Not so much.
No, I'm completely focused on the activity, and I think that's what you're saying as well, is that, like the other day, Shad, you mentioned Shad, and he came in on, what day was that? Do you remember? He's like,
It was last Tuesday, and neither one of these guys had their contacts in. They're like, oh, let's go to the outlet mall.
well, he said, what do I do?
Yeah.
I said, I'll meet you here in 15 minutes, we're going to the mall, and we're gonna go meet, he needed,
He needed a bunch.
he needed 20 and I needed 30. And we, in an hour and a half,
You met me.
oh yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
And ask for business, you can't count it unless.
No, absolutely, ask for business, you know, my name's Rick Warner,
You
in
used to
this
ask-
class,
ask
yeah, we're having a
Kayla- ask
contest.
Kayla yesterday.
Yeah.
See,
Asked
and
Kayla
that's
yesterday.
Yeah,
That's
ask
fun to
Kayla.
do that too, right?
And the
It
thing
was
is,
fun.
it's like somebody said, well, what, did you get it? No, but to me, it does not matter at all, right? I cannot focus just on the result, because I know the results will happen. I know I'm doing the right things that lead to results, so I have to just take the result and not worry about every little, I mean, if I worry about every no, well, then you're right, it's gonna be devastating, it's just, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no, really, again, no, really? All 30 of you, no? Well, why am I even here? This is ridiculous. But if I don't care, if my job is just to make sure that I have those 30 conversations, that means that every time I make one, I'm that much closer to 30, right? Hey, I'm 30, done. The result is, I'm done. That's the results, right? I get to move on, and I get to go to the class with my head hung high, with my 100 contacts made, and I don't get a foul. But I know that
And you
you know,
have your
everything
team.
that we're doing now is it's gonna create business in 90 days, right? So what month am I in? July,
Yeah.
August, September? I'm gonna kill it in October. I know that,
You probably will.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I believe that.
And so is Charles.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, awesome. Does anybody have anything they want to add?
I have
that?
to scoot.
Okay, go. All right, we can,
Thanks,
I'm done too, so if anybody does anything, Steve, yes.
I just, I'm a mentor for the Feeney Company, and I just set up a class, Peak Producers, it's a 12-week class that I will be mentoring, starting on July 21st. And the first week will be every day, 9 to 10, except for Wednesday, a tour day will be 3 to 4:30. 9 to 10:30, and then Wednesday will be 3 to 4:30.
Awesome.
And then every week it'll be 9 to 10:30 on Mondays.
Do you want us to get involved with you as far as blowing out stuff to
Yeah, I
everybody in the
gotta do
office?
that, I just,
Let us help you with that, because the more people we can get involved with that, the better it is for the office and you guys.
yeah, I can only seat like 8 people in my conference room.
Okay, well, I'll put it out to, it'd be nice to have to turn people away.
It's what's, they're having on sale right now for like $350
Cool.
till the end of July.
Okay.
right.
Well, can you get the information to the staff and everything, and we'll help you
I can
promote it?
send the invitation, I have the invitation.
Perfect. That'll work. Perfect.
You got the invitation, right?
Awesome. All right, thanks, guys.